what are you thinking about? And it didn't end up working because I don't think it was going to end up being a co-writing situation. It was like, will you make me one? And I couldn't do it, and I felt really bad, and I didn't want to offend her, but I couldn't do it because I don't know what's going on in her. I don't know the intimacy of it. And so I have to know somebody enough to sort of take on their mentality and express their mentality in my way. So I do have to say that in the conventional sense, I'm not a very good co-writer at all. I just have to have that affinity for something.
Hi.
Sorry?
Sorry. I was just wondering when you knew you wanted to sing your own songs and that you couldn't imagine anybody else singing them and feeling it the way you did.
I knew I had to sing my own songs when I couldn't imagine anybody else singing. And I was a singer by sort of default, because I was just starting to write songs, put chords together, put lyrics on it, and I was starting to make observations that didn't belong to anybody else, and it would have felt dead wrong. But so I caught up. It's about running changes. I was putting records out while I was learning how to sing. I'm still a major label recording artist putting music out while I'm learning to use an MPC, because I want to learn how to sequence just drums. Because I want to take a Jay Dilla, Pete Rock, Detroit sort of drum thing, and I want to put tunes on top, because so far it's just samples. So my new thing that I have to study to get to is to find that sort of, you know, and how do I find a way that's authentic to go on top of it and put a song on top? Because so far it's just these whatever the things are. What if you could take that bass and that kick, you know, kick and that hat and the way it's late and the way it just goes and put something on top of it and little lyric change, you know, chord changes and lyrics. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Not very well so far.
Hi, Mr. Mayor.
Hello.
I'm way up in the 15th balcony.
Got it. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
Like you, I have economy on my mind, and not just for blues solos.
Good one.
Yes. We are entertainers, and we serve a particular purpose for society, and that's something I always struggle with, is whether I should write political songs, whether I should write happy songs, whether I should just write something that someone can cry to or laugh to.
Wait about 4 weeks.
I
The
know.
answer will be apparent. And that's, I'm sorry.
Well, I just wanted to know, especially in this time, this critical time, what you think your role is as a public figure.
I feel like somebody came to me in the middle of the night and asked me what I wanted to talk about, and I sort of spoke in my sleep, and now this is what's happening. These are great questions that I have answers to, because I think about it all the time. And this gives you a distinct advantage as songwriters, is that nobody knows right now how they feel about anything. How could you really be expected to write a song about something when nobody knows what's going on or how they feel? I think part of that has to do with a cultural climate that is sort of unique, but a lot of it has to do with the decades. So we're in the 8th year of the decade. Well, you look at 2008. Well, what's coming in and what's going out and what's coming in? Well, you don't know yet, but look at 1998. What was going out? Boy bands were sort of beginning to fizzle out. It was hot for boy bands. Then like around 2000, 2001, bam, Norah Jones, me, Jack Johnson, Coldplay. Foom, 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 foom. We want to hear things that really address a musical element and an emotional element. 1988, who was the hottest bands? Motley Crue, Winger, Warrant, you know, I loved them all. But about 1990, 1991 comes Kurt Cobain and Nirvana, and Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Mudhoney and Screaming Trees, and everybody goes, this is who we are for the next 10. We are really in this moment right now, not just politically or culturally. Musically, we are not quite sure what we want to hear, but we know we're sick of what's out there now. So you have this unbelievable ability you don't normally get to figure out who you're going to be and how you're going to change the game. Because when I came out in 2001, and Dave Matthews Band and David Gray had made it, but when I came out in 2001, 2002 and 2003, if you were a male singer-songwriter, you were in the door, you were getting signed. So you now have the opportunity that I had 10 years ago to figure out, look at what's out there now, look at what's happening, how do I want to respond to that, and how do I want to put something out that's going to cleanse people's ears and they go, oh, yes. And I think it's going to come back to some sort of real supreme sort of dignity and authenticity. And I think it depends on, I don't want to say it depends on who wins the election, but I think it depends on how people feel about the next 4 years. And I think that people aren't, everything is on hold. How to feel, how to react. So people are in a real funny place right now. And I think if you could write a song about that, imagine attacking that right now, putting a song out about, I don't know what I feel. All I know is I'm not quite scared, but I'm not quite excited. And I'm just sitting on my hands. Everybody's just sitting on their hands. So how could you be expected to write a song that connected people when people are sort of disconnected at the moment? But it's wide open for you. You know, it's wide open. And I think that's exciting.